Rolling down the street, smoking endo, sipping on gin and juice. Lay back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Make sure we live, y'all. Make sure we live. Make sure we live. We gotta be live. We live, y'all. We live, y'all. Man, what's going on? I thought the camera was over there. I didn't switched up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't switched up, man. I didn't switched up. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, y'all, man? This your boy Tony Black, voice of the block. Right now, you tuned into my live, man. Listen, we're gonna be talking about that boy Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? Carmelo Anthony. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure that y'all get the lights up for your boy right now. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you sub to the channel if you ain't did that already. Man, do that right now for your boy. You know what I'm saying? Sub to the channel right now for your boy. You dig? We got Tank Davis, man. So that boy Tank Davis, you know, undefeated. You know what I'm saying? This dude talking about he finna get ready to retire. You know, the champ from Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? What the hell this dude got going on? This young ass guy, right? He about 30, 31 years old, bro. Talking about he finna retire, bro. You know what he know about retirement at that age? You know what I'm saying? This dude got so much more fight in him. I remember the dude when he did that scream with AB, when he pulled up on AB. Y'all remember that? He pulled up on AB and took AB outside and told AB a little something about, you know what I'm saying, boxing. And now he wanna dip. Hold on. Tank Davis is the same guy who like to, you know what I'm saying, hurt these women outside the ring, bro. And you mean to tell me he want to run from that pressure in that squad? He want to run from that? What the hell Tank Davis smoking on, y'all? Like what he got going on? You know what I'm saying? What he thinking about switching careers? What he thinking about coming in front of the camera? You know, talking about stuff. Tank Davis might not even be as good as we think he is inside that ring, bro. Tank Davis probably sorry. He probably just look good to people who can't fight. Yeah, Tank Davis look good to people that can't fight because if he was that damn good, he won't be retiring at this young age. He still look healthy. He still look like he in good shape. His body is tight. You know what I'm saying? He walking, you know what I'm saying, without no cane stick, no disrespect. He ain't walking with no limps. You know, he's not in a wheelchair. You know, he haven't been in no recent car accidents, you know. So tell me why in the hell this dude talking about I'm finna quit boxing. Do y'all know that mean this nigga finna lose? Tank Davis finna lose when he do his next fight. I'm gonna just say it like this. Tank Davis know he can't fight. That's why he giving up. You know? The only reason I'll stop doing this if I can't talk no more. Look, he giving up. He giving up on something that he love. Why is he giving up? Do he know? Because I ain't even gonna say do he think that Roach beat his ass. Do he know that deep down inside that he got his ass beat? Because we know how it is in boxing. Y'all remember AB was mad when he lost that fight, and AB was like, "Yeah, I know I won. I know I won." Y'all remember when Floyd Mayweather? Let me sip some of this gin and juice. Y'all get the likes up right now, man. Get the likes up, man. Jump in the comments. Let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all thinking in the comment section, bro. Y'all remember? Y'all remember, right? When Floyd Mayweather told AB, he say, "Yeah, you know that's how the game go. Like they be playing with the scoreboard, bro. Like in the NFL and the NBA, that's why people be losing because like that's why people when people be you know what I'm saying placing them bets, that's why they be losing because they be playing with the scores and shit like that. They be playing with the scores. Floyd Mayweather know that. Floyd Mayweather about to lose a fight. Floyd Mayweather ain't got no money. So that's why Floyd Mayweather is willing to get in that ring and fight. Tank Davis finna get that belt taken away from him. This just the warm up. This right here is the warm up before we get to that Carmelo Anthony thing. Y'all make sure that y'all go tag a friend, man. Get people up in here right now. Cause I want to know what y'all think about Tank Davis, man. A lot of people look up to Tank Davis, and a lot of people. I don't want a lot of people to feel like they've been chasing this boxing dream their whole goddamn entire life, and feel like they can, you know what I'm saying, retire at a young age. Like, do he not see that Floyd Mayweather boxed so many? Tank Davis got at least 20 more fights in him. At least 20 more fights. At least 20 more fights in him. Like, do he not see what happened to Floyd Mayweather? Floyd Mayweather been fighting all his life, like all the way till he is about what, 45, 50, you know? And he's broke. So what the fuck Tank got going on, man? Tank better put his foot on the gas and keep applying pressure and keep winning. If he get knocked out, he just get knocked out. He talking about he gonna tell tell his fans and everything that he had grease falling in his eye. Bro, when I get braids, bro, I don't even have they don't even put no grease and no spray liquid stuff in my head. You know? Tank was full of shit. Tank really lost that fight against Roach. And I'm here to speak on it right now. You know what I'm saying? Because he feel like he can retire right now. He feel like he can give up after that fight, after a lot of people say that he lost. They cheated on the scoreboard, bro. They cheated. Roach stuck with Davis. You know what I'm saying? See, Davis thought that he was gonna get in that ring and first at the press conference, he thought he was gonna talk that talk. You know what I'm saying? And first of all, he thought he was gonna talk that big boy talk, and he thought he was gonna scare Roach, make Roach feel intimidated when he got in that ring, made him lose his thoughts of training when he got in that ring. That wasn't the case, you know. He stood on all 10 and he stuck with that guy, you know. Roach stuck with Davis. See, Davis thought that he was gonna squish Roach like a roach, but that no, he stuck with him. So Tank Davis feeling like shit, he ain't the best no more because he thought he was gonna dog walk a nigga, and he can't dog walk a nigga no more. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all tell Tank that. Yeah. Tell Tank, now listen, if he retire, you know what I'm saying? He know he was never no good in the first place. I ain't finna retire at 26 at nothing I do. At nothing I do. I can't retire. I gotta retire when I can't work no more. You know? That's when I gotta retire, bro. I don't know how y'all feel, but I gotta retire, bro. And you retire when you like at that kind of profession, bro. You retire, you know what I'm saying, at like 35. I gotta say, Tank got about 20 more fights in him. 20 more fights in him. He giving up on his fans. You know, he gonna end up just like Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Just like AB. You know, bro. Floyd Mayweather got a boxing ring. Yeah, he do. Yeah, he do. But guess what? He's still going broke. And I ain't never even speak on it, but I'm speaking on who Tank Davis came up under. So I might as well just go on and speak about Floyd Mayweather because both of them finna lose a fight. You know, Floyd Mayweather going broke or broke because he got expensive habits. He's $1 million nigga. He like spending millions of dollars. He like flexing. And when you like flexing, shit, in the back end, you're gonna have to pay for it. You know, you're gonna be like, damn, I wish I wouldn't have never spent my money on. Yeah. So yeah, man, Tank Davis wanna give up. And I don't think no nigga or no female should give up on something that they motherfucking love to do. You know, you shouldn't. You know, especially if you're still in good condition, good shape. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know what the hell going on with this dude, bro. I don't know what's going on with him. What the fuck y'all think going on with that boy Tate Davis, man? Y'all make sure y'all get the likes up, man. Tap that like button right now. Tap that like button right now. Y'all know we got your boy we got your boy Carmelo Anthony. Yeah. Carmelo Anthony. Tap that like button, comment below. Listen, so let's put this without a lighter Lua for the Carmelo Anthony. Let's lighter Lua for the Carmelo Anthony. Yo, man. So yo, Carmelo Anthony, man. So Carmelo Anthony did some dirty work, you know. And I ain't talking about the dude in a bad way. I'm just stating my opinions and on how I feel about, what I'm saying, the whole situation. I ain't never came to this thing and tried to be right, but I told y'all, man, that he murdered this dude, that he actually did what he tried to do, bro. Let me start right here. I'm gonna take it back. Not with this, but with the Fulio case. Because what happened with Fulio case was on camera, you know, and it was only one person that took the stand in that Fulio case. Well, when the person who was wrong, he you know what I'm saying, took the stand, Sean Gathright, you know, nobody else spoke on how they felt because they didn't give a fuck about what happened in that situation. Same with Carmelo Anthony. Now, a lot of y'all, oh yeah, we gonna get on everything. See, a lot of y'all saying that Carmelo Anthony should be free, should be free. But what if Matt Cass was your kinfolk? Matt Cass ain't knock Carmelo Anthony off of his feet. Carmelo Anthony was still on his feet when he proceeded to poke Matt Cass. That was wrong. That's why I say what these young niggas know about self-defense. These young niggas don't know nothing about self-defense until you 21 and take the self-defense class. When you look at self-defense on YouTube and all of this and that, you ain't really sitting there doing what you gotta really do and follow and with the self-defense thing. You don't know shit about self-defense. You don't know how to cock the weapon. You don't know how to clean it out and load it and unload it and drop the clip. You don't know how to do that and aim it. You don't know nothing about and what to do in a situation and when to use it. You don't know nothing about self-defense. You don't know nothing about self-defense. Mm-mm. Nah, like I say, if Matt Cass was your kinfolk, would you be saying free this guy? And Matt Cass ain't not Anthony off of his feet. He ain't stumble. He ain't fall back. He just got touched like I told y'all in the beginning. I told y'all that shit in the beginning. And yeah, the Matt Cass family, them two boys put their daddy arm, you know what I'm saying, in a sling. They broke their daddy arm. They jumped their daddy. Yeah, they was some evil guys. Yes, they was. But that day, they weren't evil. They just didn't want him over there. So they was being what? Race. They was being race, right? That's what I think. That's how I feel. Okay. So yeah, it was raining. Why the fuck Anthony wasn't with his teammates? Why he wasn't with his school? Why he wasn't with the people who he came with? Why he was somewhere else? He got 35 years. He'll be about 54 when he get out. He still can be free. But what they seen in that courtroom, I told y'all he had the right to defend himself. The first video when this shit first happened, I told y'all he had the right to defend himself if it was a case where he had to defend himself. And this was a case where he didn't have to defend himself. Even though we didn't see the video, they seen the video. And what they seen the video and then they got testimony, from witnesses that was out there that seen it that day. Um, what's Metcalf's brother name? Metcalf's brother, his twin brother, I don't remember the dude name, but he wasn't even, side by side or probably nowhere near his brother. That's what I believe. Why I'm gonna say that? Why I'm gonna say that? Because he didn't even see what actually happened. He didn't. If he was close enough to his brother in that incident, he would have seen exactly what happened, and the cameras would have seen it too. And it would have been like you was lying. And guess what? It would have been a bigger situation. But what they seen on that camera, when they played that camera back in the courtroom, even though we didn't see it, what they seen wasn't good enough for him to do what he did. You know. And I feel like he came there for some trouble. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he meant to do what he did. I feel like somebody was gonna get it that day. Anybody said something to him. You know, everybody's saying, "Oh, he was a good kid. No record. No none of that. Never been in jail. Never had no incidents with the police. You know what I'm saying? They say Carmelo Anthony. You know, was a great kid. We seen him. He got a diploma. Now that ain't no telling what he had in his room. He probably had evil shit, evil pictures posted up in his room. He probably had little knife shits in his room. Maybe that he colored or drew up, but he probably had some evil shit in his phone. Yeah. Why didn't he take the stand? Cause he ain't give a damn. He ain't care. Because if I gave a fuck about what I did, bro, I'm gonna take the stand and say, hey, speak my side and tell what I he ain't even get up there and say, Carmelo Anthony ain't even come and say, I was scared for my life. I thought that they was gonna jump me because what they were saying to me. He had no words. He had no feelings. And I'm just saying it how I feel. I'm just saying that ain't no telling what type of music he was listening to. Ain't no telling, about none of that. We wasn't there. We don't know Matt Cath. None of us know him personally. That none of know them personally. That's speaking on them. None of us know Carmelo Anthony to know if he really wanted to do some shit like what he did that day. We don't know nothing. But I can tell y'all though, if Matt Cath would have did this shit to Anthony, it would have been self-defense. If he would have did this to Anthony, it would have been self-defense and it would have been crazy outside. Racing war. Let me tell y'all something. While I was watching yesterday, them people outside up there in Texas at that trial outside that courthouse, none of them made it good for this guy. He was a black guy. He did what he did, and he had black people outside acting a fool like they ain't had no home training at all. And I'm here to speak on it. I'm here to gossip about it because they was acting too real ghetto. If they was inside that courtroom, imagine how they would have been acting inside that courtroom. They would have they would have got put the fuck out. I mean, when I was looking at the shit yesterday, I say, damn, somebody gonna end up going to jail. I don't think nobody end up going to jail. But listen, they was off the chain. It was the black people mad at the white people, talking shit to the white people. Then the black people started talking shit to the black people. All up in each other's face. They were the one black guy was trying to fight a Spanish guy. It was two. two like well, it was two other Spanish guys over where some black people was at, and they was all up in the boy's face talking shit to him. See, they asking whose side he on and da. They say, just like me, I'm in the middle. I just want to know the truth. And the truth came out in the courtroom. You know, he can always appeal it and fight it if something wasn't true. But why didn't he take up for himself? If he want to go and self-defend himself, why didn't he speak up for himself? If he was right, fam, why didn't he speak up for himself? If you was right, why won't you speak up for yourself? But if you was wrong, you won't speak up for your goddamn self. You won't say shit for your about your. You won't say nothing. You won't take up for yourself if you was wrong and you know it was wrong and they seen that it was wrong. You know, you ain't have to jab them. You could have sliced them. But where you at, bro, you gonna be doing a lot of that. You see, they got you, you know what I'm saying, away from the other inmates for your safety. For your safety. But Carmelo Anthony, I'm looking at this shit like, you know what I'm saying, this was my people involved. And it's not self-defense, fam. Y'all spread this word, bro. It's not self-defense if you're not knocked off your feet. You have to be knocked off your feet, meaning you have to be on the ground, bro. You got to be on the ground for say self-defense. I was defending myself. You got to. Or else you're gonna be another Carmelo Anthony trying to fight for a second chance. He gonna miss a lot of shit. He finna spend most of his adulthood in prison. Most of his adult and where he messed up at, where he had the twists, the dreads, trying to look like he was street, trying to look like he was a gangster. That's where he messed up at, man. He messed up right there. I really feel sorry for both families and Carmelo Anthony and Matt Cass. I feel sorry for, you know what I'm saying, for them guys. Why do I feel sorry for them guys? Because both of them guys actually lost their life. One breathing, one ain't breathing. One that's breathing is not gonna be on the streets to harm anyone else for nothing that petty again. You gotta think about what if you would have got in everybody that's sitting around here talking about free this guy. What if it was you who was just simply telling him you gotta move? Y'all black people yesterday, bro. Y'all ain't make it good for Carmelo Anthony yesterday at all. They was inside that courtroom watching and taking notes and getting radioed in what the fuck y'all was doing outside. Yeah, we know if Melo would have beat this, it would have been a riot. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, we know. It wouldn't have been us that was doing that would have started it though. It would have been them that would have started it. It would have been them. But now we ain't gonna do shit. You know, we ain't gonna do nothing. And I knew way back then when he first started going to Tri-City, they closed it real quick. You know, it was supposed to go on this week. So they seen some shit, bro. Some witnesses say that it was two hands. But most of the witnesses said Matt Cab did it with one hand. Yeah, they was surrounded him. There was around him, but they probably wasn't around him like we think that he was. There was, you know what I'm talking about? You know, them people that was in a courtroom and that came out saying they was seeing the tape, you know, they probably just wanted to be on Carmelo Anthony's side. So they want a stat they want a killer to be loose and free. To have an opportunity to go to work or go to college and do it to another kid who just tap him on the shoulder and say, "Hey, come here, we gotta go." You know, and he just get mad and "Ping." We can't be so hot headed out here in the street. See, that's what happened when we young, don't want to listen, and guess what? We feel like we the shit. We feel like we could do and get by with whatever we want to get by with. And guess what? That's not the case, bro. That's not the case at all, bro. We got rules to follow. And he ain't follow no rules that day. Let me tell you something. If he would have known about self-defense, he would have known that If this guy ain't have a weapon or not come off his feet, he ain't had the right to do what he did. He got to know that he had an opportunity to walk away the first time. Matt Cat gotta should have known that you can't just go and approach anybody and put hands on them because you don't know what they're thinking about or how they feeling that day. They might just be having a bad day, or they might just be having a good day. You never know. So you always got to be careful, you know, and don't be so in a rush to have adrenaline, however you say it, to kill. I want to know why y'all think that this dude should be free. Why they were saying free Carmelo? Why they was acting the way that they was acting? They ain't show it because it was probably too graphic. They ain't show it because it probably wasn't the real tape. We don't know why they didn't show it, but guess what? They ain't show it, and whatever they seen, that's what they seen. You know, that's what they seen, man. What y'all talk about that in the comment section, man? What y'all talk about in the comment section, man? We gotta know. You know, we gotta know. What y'all think the truth is? Do y'all think that this nigga ain't take the stand because he know that he was wrong? That's what y'all know that the truth is. That's what y'all think the truth is. Because if it was a lie, he would have said something. His mom would have said. I would have heard his mom say he had bruises. I ain't hear his mom say he had bruises. Did y'all hear his mom say he had bruises and shit on his face? I ain't hear it. I ain't hear it. Now, even though Matt Cap and his brother was evil, but that day they met evil. I don't think them dudes was being evil that day. You know what I'm saying? Like it was an open carry state. I believe that somebody else would have had switches and blades and knives on them too. You know, I think they would have found one on Metcalf, and then he would have been straight. If they would have found the weapon on Metcalf, Anthony would have been straight. They ain't find a weapon on Metcalf. When they seen on them tapes, they ain't see nothing to where he should have defended himself. He should have walked away, and Metcalf shouldn't have never approached him. But hey, that was their tenant. He probably was the captain. You know, he probably was the captain, and nobody else ain't allowed up under the tent. That's the rule, bro. If nobody ain't allowed up under the tent, you gotta go from under the tent. And he probably told him the first time. See, he probably told him the first time you can't be here, and he probably got cocky. And then he probably just like, hey man, he was bigger than him, yeah, and all of that. But guess what? He ain't do him like that. He ain't push him real hard because if he would have fell off his feet. Correct. So he probably just tapped him like this, like, hey, you gotta go. And he ain't like that disrespect. He ain't like that disrespect, man. He ain't like it at all, man. So he had to hit him that he ain't have to put it in him that hard, bro. Like I said, he could have sliced him. Cause that would have stung him and made him back. But he want to jab him, bro. He was looking for an incident that day. That's why he getting them 35 years. You know what I'm saying? And when they say 35 years, when they say 25 years of life, people be like, oh, you get 35 years, you got 25 years, still can get it. No, it's 35 years, 25. Like when I'm gonna say, even though Carmelo Anthony got 35 years, I'm gonna say, you know how they say 25 years to life? Because you could die in prison within them 25 years. So then you're gonna end up with life because you died in prison. You know, he 35 years, he might make it, he might not make it, you know. But at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, always I'm gonna say that Anthony was wrong, you know what I'm saying, for the way that he reacted to a small situation. And if you be hot-headed, you're gonna fall victim. just like both of these guys. You're gonna either be just like Carmelo Anthony, or you're gonna be like Metcalf. And both of them boys was hot heads that day. Both of them boys' egos was on 1,000 that day. Now this your boy Tony Black, voice of the block. And I know y'all fucked with what I said, bro. I kept that shit real, bro. You know, they shouldn't have been out there acting fools. They made it worse for Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony probably could have got them 10 years. He probably could have got them, you know what I'm saying, them 10 years in probation. But the way that them people was outside acting, they like, oh no, we ain't gonna let him out. And I agree. Because if it was my people who he did that to, I want his little ass locked up too. Hey, I'm out. Peace.